Hello, my name is Tudor Gălățan, and together with my classmate Adrian Onofrei, we had to implement the L game in C++ using a simple graphics library. We wanted to use Visual Studio as it is a modern and more powerful IDE, but we used CodeBlocks instead because the graphics library we were required to use is very old and it would have been pretty hard to set up Visual Studio to work with it, but it works just fine with CodeBlocks. You can see our progress on GitHub at this address. Regarding the project, we were careful not only to solve the given problem, but also to write good quality code. As you can see here, we have pretty much followed all the clean code principles. We have even documented the code very well by writing comments, for us in the first instance, but also for others if they want to look at our code on GitHub. We have also tested the important functions used in the project, for example the function that checks if the next move of a player would be on a valid position on the game board or not. We used layered architecture, modular programming, and classes to organize our code better and follow the separation of concerns principle. For example, we have a special layer containing a module with a class just for the user interface. We also have the same things for the player versus environment and player versus player game modes, and for the basic entities of our program, which are the game board, the cells of the game board, the players, and the coins. We stored the initial configuration of the game board in a text file, and we have also prepared another text file that stores every move of the players, so you could continue your previous game. Enough about coding, let me now guide you through the game. In the main menu, we have an exit button that we can use if we want to close the game. We also have a rules button if we forget the rules and want to go over them once again. As you can see, we did implement a hover effect over our buttons. Even though we had to write a lot more code to do this, we think that it makes the game much more fluid and enjoyable, which is important for a good user experience. Moving on, we have the options menu, where we can select another language for the game, turn the music on or off, and change the difficulty of the game in the player versus computer game mode. Let me show you exactly how they work. So, if we click on the language button, we now have the game in Romanian. As you can see, everything is written in Romanian right now. I will switch it back to English now and turn on the music. Even though it's entertaining, I will switch it off as it's more important to hear my voice right now. If you feel ready for a challenge, you can always press the game mode button to switch to the hard mode. But I must warn you, you have to be ready to take the risk of being ashamed for being beaten by your own computer. That being said, I'll move now to the start game screen, and I will let my classmate Adrian to show you a short gameplay for both ways of playing and explain you the details behind building them.
Thank you, Tudor, and welcome everybody to our presentation of the L game, or Bonol in Romanian. On this page we can see that we have two different options to choose from. Player versus computer, where you can basically play against a bot that we created, and player versus player, where you can crash your family and your friends at this game because you trained so hard with our bot. So, our bot has two different difficulties, which you can choose from if you go into the options page under the game mode. You can already see that it's set on the easy difficulty, and we'll leave it like that so you can see the difference in the behavior of the bot between the easy and the hard. Let's go back. And before I start, I'd like to say a couple of words on how we created the board. The board is made out of 4x4 cells, and each cell is a different object, which stores the top coordinate, the left coordinate, the size of the cell, and it has its own functions for setting the color of the cell and detecting if the mouse is inside the cell or not. Also, if you clicked inside the cell or not. Okay, so because it's the easy bot, it will not make the best moves. It will basically make the first valid move that it finds on the table that is different from the previous one. So let's see. If I make this specific move right here and move the coin to the top right corner, you can see that the bot makes this move, which is basically the first valid move that he found. You got the point. I'll turn the difficulty to the hard. So, because we're on the hard difficulty, the bot has some kind of strategy in his quote-unquote mind. The strategy is this. The best move in this game is to create somehow a 3x3 square and block the other player. Is the most common way to block the other L object. So let's see, if I make the same specific move with the L object here and the coin in the top right corner, the bot chooses to move its L object right here. Why? Because like this, he blocked almost a 3x3 square. You get the point. So let's dive into the player versus player mode. Right here, I'll show you how it looks like when someone wins. Yay! Thank you for your time, and I'll let Tudor have the end word, and hope I'll see you at our next game. Thank you very much.
In my opinion, at the beginning of our work, I thought that it wouldn't be so hard to build a game. But in the end, we found out that the game is pretty complex and it requires a lot of time to make it good. But we did enjoy building it, especially when we started to see the results, and we want to continue improving it in the next months. We want to add more languages, like German and French, improve the graphical user interface, add a legendary game mode that will use a simple AI algorithm like Minimax, and the possibility to continue the game from where you left it the last time you played it. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. Thank you very much and see you next time.